Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Rodriguez, going back to that issue that my colleague, Mr. Lynch, broached with you, DHS has indicated that it began 3 pilot programs. We've talked about that, to include social media screening in the visa adjudication process in the fall of 2014. Has DHS ever had a policy preventing adjudicators and attorneys from reviewing applicants' social media posts?
I am not aware of a policy that prevented it per se. There have obviously there are various privacy and other issues that govern, but there has never been a privacy per se. And certainly during just about the entire time that I've been director and that Secretary Johnson has been secretary, what we have been doing is in fact piloting and developing the capacity to use social media in a thoughtful, functional manner.
Well, the per se bothers me a bit.
I'm sorry, sir?
The per se bothers me a bit. You're indicating that there was no direct policy preventing.
I am not aware of a policy.
But why wasn't it happening?
Yeah, if I use that, I would not read too much into the phrase per se. I am not aware of there ever having been a policy that prohibited the use of.
Well, then we have conflicting reports then in the last several days. Well, that there was and there wasn't.
I know full well that during my tenure as director, we have in fact been developing and piloting that capacity.
So it's a good policy that we look into social media.
I do believe, and I believe that many of my intelligence community partners have the same view, that there is information of vetting value that may be garnered from social media.
And it will be ramped up.
We are in the process of doing that as we speak.
Mr. Burson, why did DHS wait, if there are 3 basic pilot projects, wait until 2014 to create these pilots?
The activities with regard to social media have been conducted by the components, principally CIS, Mr. Rodriguez's agency, Homeland Security Investigations, or ICE, and CBP have conducted their activities. There was no headquarters overarching policy prohibiting that. To the contrary, these going on under Secretary Johnson's leadership, and he's encouraged the components to actually expand.
Why did we wait till 2014 to initiate these pilots? Till 2014 to initiate or to create these pilot projects?
I don't know. Again, during my tenure,
we need to, and if you could bring the microphones.
We have been busy doing this, so I am really unable today to speak to what occurred before. I'm certainly would be happy to get that information to the extent that it's not privileged, and get that before the committee.
When could we get that? We're getting used to hearing we don't have that information here on this.
I think for us here, the main point is we are doing it. One of the reasons I just don't know what occurred years before I got here. What we can say now is we are doing it. We are doing it in an abundant manner. We are looking to have it actually be useful for screening purposes. That seems to me the most important discussion. What happened 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, I can't speak to that, sir.
What have been the results of what you're doing now?
Well, I think there is less there that is actually of screening value than you would expect, at least in those small early samples. Some of the things that we have seen have been more ambiguous than clear. There are challenges in terms of people using foreign alphabets to pose. That's a capacity that will need to be developed. As everybody has observed, many of these communications, as we've now learned from the director, may have applied in the San Bernardino situation, are private communications. They're not open posts. Those are challenges that we've identified. That said, I think we all continue to believe that there is a potential for there to be information of screening value, particularly as Congressman Lynch, and I think you have also observed in particularly high-risk environments.
Well, I think recent events have shown that there's probably significant significant, important information that we can get using information gained from social media.
We do not disagree.
And we would hope that that would continue, and we'd hope to get more answers and not to push back that this is something we don't know. We have to know that. And when we hear, as we saw in the video earlier, the White House representative telling us that we're doing everything, our vetting process is secure, and then we see the results that are horrendous take place, like in San Bernardino, we've got a problem. I yield back.